See the missing secret in ASO Rock. Death, the precious price to be paid by everyone, irrespective of the race, religion, educational background, and status. Like Abakari, everyone would definitely pay the price, Voice Air Media reports. President Buhari's chief of staff had put upon a greatness trust after the great hustling in the dust. He served his boss with love, strength and faith and turned to an object of ridicule and reproach after his eternal transition. What a pity. His perceived loyalty has caused a serious migraine to many who only believe in what they read in the media hook, line and sinker. Funnily enough, many still believe Abakari died weeks ago, but the federal government of Nigeria only announced it last Saturday. The source of this news could be traced to Kemi Olunloye, and as a matter of fact, nothing can change the mindset of her fans to check the veracity of her assertion. Disgustingly, some media audience believe Kemi Olunloye as their reliable source of news. There are some who believe in Dr. Farouk Berogi and everything that comes from Berogi about Buhari's administration remains a gospel truth to them, while some subscribe to Fani Kayode, Omoyele Sowore, Reno Omokri, and other commentators in the country. Surprisingly, both Fani Kayode and Reno Omokri maintained an objective stand and made a good, empathetic comment on Chief of Staff's death. They accepted the fact that Abakari was only playing his role as a loyalist rather than elected official. Most people celebrating his death would remain numb if one asked them of his wrongdoings as a chief of staff. They don't actually have points other than what they read in the media. They have forgotten most of the people releasing derogatory publications about Abakari have their own interests. If it is about Nigerian politicians, they only fight for their interest and not for the masses. So, don't even think they are criticizing Abakari for a better Nigeria. If people that only fight for their pockets could go against Abakari because they could not penetrate as expected, why would Nigerians think Abakari was bad as chief of staff when other political grandeurs are worse? During my days in the Federal Polytechnics of Kwara State, I could recall how we used to talk ill of the secretary to the head of department. Why? Because she was strict and would always follow protocol when on duty. She would never compromise anything. She would do things as instructed. Her strictness begetted much hatred and many never liked her. I think that is why people view most of the secretaries, personal assistants, special advisors, and the likes. Of course, people in those positions are always in bad limelight. Tell me why Abakari's loyalty should be different. He would also be looted constructively and destructively. What is my point here? If Abakari should be criticized for President Buhari's flaws in office, he should bear both the good and the bad representation. Celebrating his death for the poor performance of the president is wickedness. He should be praised for the good representation as well. Since I have grown up, I have come to realize one thing in Nigeria: Nigerians will never appreciate an elected president when he is in power. I was in primary school during former President Obasanjo's regime. His administration was full of criticism. When he left and Yar'Adua came in, Nigeria raised mountain of encomiums on Obasanjo and mounted the criticism on Yar'Adua. Despite his performance in power, Yar'Adua's ill health exacerbated the criticism to the extent of calling for his resignation to install Goodluck Jonathan, who was his deputy. Unfortunately, former President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua of blessed memory could not finish his tenure. He died on the way and Goodluck Ebele Jonathan took over. Years after Yar'Adua that we so much criticized while in office became a messiah after death, while Jonathan of the masses became a corrupt leader. By fire by force, Jonathan's second tenure was like hell for Nigeria. Corruption, insecurity and other vices marred his administration that called for change. Though in 2015, Sai Baba was the choice of the masses. Almost everyone wanted Jonathan to be out of office. I said it earlier, we don't always value presidents in office. Now that Baba Buhari is still in charge, the same Jonathan that was chased out of power in 2015 now becomes a hero, and the change we clamored for is facing the world's criticism left, right, and center. Fani Kayode was with Obasanjo during his tenure, when Omokri was with Jonathan during his tenure. Despite the fact that Nigerians were not happy with their administration while in office, Fani Kayode and Reno Omokri could not say anything bad against their bosses. That is loyalty. So where did Abakari go wrong to have deserved mockery and celebration? We are Nigerians. We only praise our presidents after their tenures. I know Buhari will also become a hero after his administration, despite the level of criticism he is facing now. Why mocking the death of Abakari when you are coming to celebrate Buhari's later? At this juncture, a minute silence for departed souls who lost the battle to COVID-19, including Abakari, a missing script in ASO Rock. May God continue to be pleased with the deceased. Sooner or later, COVID-19 shall become history and there shall be freedom. Amen. Thank you for listening to this news. Yes, I will say that Abakari may have a good record and also a bad record as well. But then we should be looking at the voice of the masses to qualify the performance of an individual. If you look at the voice of the masses concerning Abakari, you'll see that the masses that are speaking negative about Abakari are more than the ones giving credit to him. And you looking at what was happening in Aso Rock when Abakari was still alive, you will see that there is an atom of truth in what the masses that are against Abakari are saying. Abakari, yes, may have had some good parts and some good role to play when he was alive. But then most he may, but then he must have he must have affected people negatively. He must have dealt with lots of people both in Aso Rock and outside Aso Rock. We are not to talk about the masses. Look at what we are getting. after his death, saying is sayings from the poor masses. Most of the decisions taken by the president comes through Abakari. You can imagine. That is to say that the person ruling is not the president, but Abakari. Well, I will say that your comments should also come in so that one and the masses will understand what it um, what it takes to to know everything concerning the party that we're carrying. So don't forget to leave them behind. Click on the subscription buttons as well as the bell buttons to receive more updates.